guys, welcome back to Spelling and Word Study. My name is Mrs. Rhoades and I'm here to get you started on Unit 11, Silent E with long I. Please take a second to gather your materials. You will need your red book, open to page 71. You will also need some colorful crayons, markers, or pencils. Remember, whatever I mark up on my board, you should be marking on your page. Please find space for a key as well. All right, so we have started our study of long vowels. We know that long vowels say their name. So long A says A, long E says E, long I says I, long O says O, and long U says U or oo. All right, so last week we started with long A, and we found out that we can make A say its name if it has a silent E at the end of the word. Okay, so we looked at words like take, and we found out that that silent E can jump over the consonant and make the A say its name. T, A, K. Notice the E is silent. It doesn't make a sound at the end of the word. Well, this week we are going to use silent E again, but we're going to notice how it makes an I say its name in each of these words. Okay, let's start by reading our list. Please repeat after me. Bike, bite, chime, dive, fire, hide, lime, pile, shine, time. Did you hear that I sound in each word? Great. Okay, so what I want you to do now, I want you to choose a color. And just like we did last week, we're going to find that silent E in each word. We're going to circle it. We're going to have it jump over the consonant, and it's going to tell that I, say your name, say your name. So now we have b-I-k, bike. Right here, we're going to jump over the T. B-I-T. Here, we're going to jump over the M. Ch-I-M, chime. Here, we're going to jump over the V. D-I-V, dive. Do you see how that silent E is making the I say its name? Okay, here, we'll jump over the R. F-I-R, fire. Now we'll jump over a different consonant. We're jumping over the D. H-I-D, hide. We'll jump over the M. L-I-M, lime. Jump over the L. P-I-O, pile. Jump over the N. Sh-I-N, shine. And we'll jump over the M. T-I-M. All right, let's go to our key. So every time we see a circle and an arrow, that tells us that we have a long I pattern. Long I, okay? All of these words have a long I. Okay, now you probably noticed some digraphs in our words. We talked about digraphs before. Remember, a digraph takes two letters, puts them together to create a whole new sound. So when we put T and H together, they make F. When we put S and H together, they make sh. Can you find any digraphs in our list this week? All right, I bet you found the CH in chime. CH says ch. Do you see any other CHs here? Me neither. All right, so purple box equals CH digraph. All right, did you spot any other digraphs? All right, I bet you found the SH in shine. Remember, the S and the H come together to make a whole new sound. So over here, green box equals SH digraph. Okay. All right, we've also been talking about verbs. Remember that verbs are action words. They are things you do, like run, jump, play, scream. Okay, so let's look through our list. We're going to choose another color, and we're going to put a V for verb next to each verb or action word, starting with bike. Now, I know a bike is a thing, right? But it can also be used as a verb. You can say, I biked to the mall, or I'm biking with my friend. So it's something you do. So let's put a V there, okay? Bite, something you do with your teeth, right? That's a verb. Chime is a verb. That's something that bells do, or like wind chimes. When they clink together and make that pretty noise, they are chiming. Think about church bells. They're chiming. You know it's 5 o'clock because you hear the bells go ding, ding, ding. They're chiming 5 times. Dive, that's something you do. You dive into a pool. Even fire, right? I know that fire, hot flames, that's a thing, but a boss might fire their employee, right? If they're not doing a good job. So you can fire someone. So that can be used as a verb. You can hide. You can't lime. You can pile. You can pile up a bunch of sand or pile up some dirty laundry. You can shine, right? Or a light can shine. Remember, verbs don't just have to be things that people do. It can be things that objects or animals do as well. And then time, well, if I say, what is the time, I'm using it as a noun. But you can time yourself. If you want to see how fast you run, you can time yourself. So we can use that as a verb as well. So check it out. We have lots of words this week that can be used as verbs, which are action words. Now, we've been talking about how to add endings to verbs, right? So last week we would use a word like take and change it to taking, right? And to do that, we would add ing. We're going to practice that some more this week. But remember, since once again, we have words that end with Bossy E, we have to drop the E before we add ing. So if I change bike to biking, it's B-I-K, get rid of the Bossy E, and add ing. Bite becomes biting. B-I-T, drop the E, add ing. Chiming, drop the E, add ing. Okay? We are following the same rule for all of our words. We are dropping the E and adding ing. You don't have to write all these now because, I'll show you. You are going to have practice doing the same thing when you get to page 74. On 74, you're going to be given a word: hide, dive, ride, bite, and you're going to change them to hiding, diving, riding, and biting, okay? Drop that silent E before you add ing. Now on the bottom, you're going to be doing something different. This time you're going to be putting the words into their past tense. We've talked about that before, right? Now I wipe the windows. Yesterday I wiped the windows. Now I whine because I'm tired. Yesterday I whined because I was hungry. Now I pile the dishes in the sink. Yesterday I piled the dishes in the sink. This time we are adding ed to each of our words, but the same rule applies. We have to get rid of that silent E before we add ed. So we change bike to biked. We change chime to chimed. We change fire to fired. We change pile to piled. And we change time to timed. Notice each time we're dropping that E and then we're adding ed. Now you're probably like, Mrs. Rhoades, you missed a bunch of verbs. You're right. I skipped some because those are the rule breakers, right? They don't follow the ed rule. We don't say, ouch, I bited my tongue. We say, ouch, I bit my tongue. Whole new word, doesn't follow any of the rules. Instead of saying I dived, we say I dove into the pool. Instead of saying I hided in the backyard, we say I hid. Instead of saying the sun shined brightly, that's not a word, we say it shone. Okay, so these words are rule breakers. All right, we've practiced them in the past. You're not going to see them this week, but they're still good words to know. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. We've already talked about the meanings of most of these words. I think the tricky ones are chime. So remember, that's a sound that bells make when they're chiming. Dive, you go into a pool. We talked about fire. It could be the flames or to fire a worker. I think you know hide. Lime is a fruit. It looks a lot like a lemon. It's about the same size as a lemon, but it's green. But it's a juicy citrus fruit, just like a lemon. You know pile, you know shine, right? Like the sun shines, and then you know time. So I think you guys are ready to start your unit. Good luck, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.